All right, Rock Addicts, this is DJ Rem from Rock Addict Radio, and I have Troy from the band COLDSTEEL on the line. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Spence. Really great.
Very good. So why don't we start if you can introduce yourself and the other members of the band so we kind of have an idea of everybody that's in the band.
Okay. Well, I'm Troy Knorr. I'm the vocalist. We have Eddie Campbell, who's on guitars, Joe Chevelle, who's on guitars, Doug Odell, who's on bass, and Hal Aponte on drums.
Very cool. And how long has COLDSTEEL been around?
Well, it's a very interesting story. COLDSTEEL was an up-and-coming group back in the late 80s, early 90s. Released several demos, and in 1992 released their debut record on Turbo Music in Germany and JL America in USA, called Freak Boy. And basically, the band had prepared to do a little tour out in Europe, and the label Turbo Music shut down. They shut down due to I don't know if it was legal issues or personal issues, but they shut down abruptly, and the band was kind of like left in the dust. At the time, you also had a lot of the whole grunge scene was just exploding. It was a very difficult time for metal, and so everybody, based on that, based on the label shutting down, and also based on different guys in the group wanted to play different types of metal. We disbanded. Fast forward 20 years, I actually was in contact in 2011 to re-release the Freak Boy record, also to re-release all the demo material that the band had recorded. And I said, you know what? Let me look for some material that we could actually include on these re-releases. Never once was I actually thinking that COLDSTEEL would record again. But what happened was I came across this cassette tape from 1990. It was dated 1990, and it was a rehearsal tape. And I'm listening to it, and I'm saying, wait a second, I forgot this song. Wow, this is a really good song. And then I found another, and I found another. And actually, it turned out we had 5 songs that we never recorded. We never, we cut them out of the sets when we were playing live. And we decided, hey, look, I looked at this and I said, hey, look, they sound really good and very promising. So I picked up the phone, I called up everybody. I said, hey, this would be the time to do this because of the re-releases and, to resurrect the group. And out of the 5 members, only 3, including myself, were actually up for it. Myself, Joe Chevelle, one of the guitar players, and Hal Aponte, who's who's the drummer. And only us were up for it. But at the time, I, myself, and Eddie Campbell and Hal Aponte were also playing in a King Diamond tribute called Them, which we were actually in the process of writing an original full-length conceptual record. And I asked Eddie if he wanted to be part of this, and he said, sure, of course, because we all enjoyed, writing music together. And we brought in Doug Odell. Doug Odell has played with Hal Aponte in the band Ice Age for 6 years, as well as Eddie Campbell with Ted Poley, as Ted Poley's band. And so everything just came together naturally, and we went into the studio. We started rehearsing what would become the America Idol EP, but what we did was we took these songs that we heard on this cassette tape, and we didn't take them, literally. We took them, and we took core elements, and we sculpted them and molded them and tweaked them to make them a little bit more modern sounding, but yet still, retaining, the classic thrash root bass. And that's what you have before you now is America Idol, a slightly modernized version of what I found originally on that cassette tape 20 years ago. But I also have to add, we did add quite a bit to it. It's not like, let's say if there was 100% of the material found on that cassette, we probably used maybe half of it or 40% of it, and the rest is new. So we decided to release this record, and the theme has to do with how it's a snapshot of how many American people feel, and it doesn't matter like which movement, because there's different movements that we have here. Ultimately, the common goal is it's pro Constitution and pro rights and pro not having our liberties and tyranny rise. So that's really what the theme was. And it's funny because a year ago when I was writing the America Idol lyrics, because that was not written, I just really thought that I was very disgusted, and I heard a lot of people being disgusted, talking on the news, reading news clips, and so I put my emotions down onto paper, and I brought in 11 different people to record a speech, or pieces of the speech, I should say, which actually comes from Abraham Lincoln. So this is really a culmination of history, people's feelings, our liberties, and induced with metal. So that's basically the whole story behind how America Idol and how Cold Steel has come back.
Well, that's an awesome story, and I mean, how amazing! You just happened to come across a cassette tape, and that was the spark that got everything going again. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'd never thought in a million years, but when I heard it, I'm very visionary with everything that I do in my life, and sometimes I have lulls, but in this particular case, I heard that, and I said, you know what, America Idol, meaning it wasn't America Idol. At the time, it was codenamed, I forget exactly even the code name, but it had a code name. We used code names for the songs. And I'm listening to this, I'm like, you know what, this has a lot of potential to move people. It was moving me, and I'm a fan of the music that I play. I mean, I don't just go on and perform and don't interact with people like some musicians do. I love the music. I love all sorts of music, but I love performing heavy music. I love interacting with people, and I got a lot of people involved with this, and it made it very special.
Yeah, no doubt. That's very cool, man. So, what's your next? What's the next plan here? Are you going to start doing some live shows? Do you have any of that lined up?
Yeah, actually, we started booking shows. We're not looking to do like a huge tour or anything like that. If it happens, it happens. Right now, we have one show booked. It's our first show in 20 years as a group, even though we've all played, religiously, since then. But our first show back is April 9th. It's in a club called Revolution, ironically.
Right?
Called Revolution, and that is located in Amityville, New York. We're playing April 9th, and we're direct support for Udo from Accept, formerly of Accept, I should say.
Awesome.
So we have another 2 shows that are in the works. I can't mention them publicly because one of them is actually pretty big, but I can't mention it. And there's also talk about possibly doing some festival-like shows. Not this year because the festival shows are booked a year in advance.
Right.
So for next year, we're looking to do some festival-like shows in different parts of the U.S. And also Europe.
Very cool. I tell you, the fact that you're in New York, I don't know if you do you know the band Generation Kill?
Heard of them. I don't know them.
Right. So Rob Dukes from Exodus is their lead singer. Rob Machete, he's ex-Propane, ex-MOD. Anyways, I'll send you a link. You should hook up with them and do a show because you guys are both thrashy. I mean, you're the same kind of music.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Send me whatever you have.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to them.
Definitely will.
We'd love to play with them.
Yep. Well, and that's what I love. I mean, I love getting to talk to bands, and then and here you are in New York. Here I know another band that's the same kind of style of music that I think you guys would complement each other great. So. I mean, it's
Oh,
cool.
that'd be great. I mean, New York is very large.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as, I'll just give you an example. When we get together to play, and when we actually connected, some of us have connected. I have to travel about an hour and a half one way to a rehearsal.
Right.
Because I live pretty far out on Long Island, and then you have the other guys. They live in different parts. They live in Westchester. One lives in Westchester. One lives in the Bronx. One lives in Brooklyn, and one lives in Queens. So, I mean, I'm used to this because playing with the King Diamond tribute, we did that for 3.5 years, and it was mostly the same members, and I had to drive about an hour one way. So I'm used to that. So there's not too many, I'm more closely knit with a lot of friends in the Suffolk County scene. I dabble in New York, but in like Manhattan area, Brooklyn, Queens area, but we pretty much, have a lot of friends out in Suffolk County. The scene isn't the strongest. This group of people keep it alive here, but as you get closer to the city, then that's a different story as well. So I just want to also tell you that on February 23rd, we're doing a listening party for our record. It's going to be held at the famous Duff's Metal Bar in Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So I'm actually firming that up, but that I can actually say now. But that will be promoted starting this week, and we're going to actually give away our CD in a special format. But we're going to give away CD. There's going to be shirts, posters. Band's going to hang out. We're going to just have some drinks and just bullshit with people, and they're going to play our whole record, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a good deal. I wish I didn't live so far away.
You know what? I don't know. You'll never know. We might. Who knows what's going to happen? Like I just told you before, we're only going to play. We're going to play like select shows.
Right.
But like I'm using similar logic when I was just playing 3.5 years with the King Diamond tribute before we decided to actually write and record an original record. And we only decided we were originally going to only play 2 shows with that group.
Uh-huh.
And it turned out to 3.5 years, of was like probably close to 30 shows. So, anything's possible. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if you make it, if you ever book anything in Michigan, you let me know.
Oh, without a doubt. Actually, we were there in 2011 with them, the King Diamond tribute. We actually played Detroit. We played St. Andrew's Hall.
Oh, nice.
That was with Halloween. Halloween was headlining it, and we played right alongside them. It was for was it called the Hollows Fest?
Okay, yeah, I think I heard of that actually. I'm on the western side of the state, but I hear about all that stuff too. So
yeah, that was a pretty big show. It was pretty, a lot of people there. It was great times. We met a lot of people, and then we just got back in our truck and drove 17 hours straight back home. So I'm sure it's possible we'll do something again, but like I said, there's no plans on it. But if it happens, it will happen.
Right. Very good. Okay, so when you found this cassette tape and all this stuff started rolling for this album, American Idol, how long did it take you to tweak those songs and get to the studio and get the EP out? How long did that whole process take you guys?
Took us probably about a month and a half.
Well, that's not bad.
Maybe 2 tops.
Wow, that was quick.
It was very quick. Eddie Campbell and Joe Chevelle, they actually, they revised things, they changed things around, they enhanced the songs, added parts, removed parts, and it's just completely night and day. But it was done in record-breaking time. The whole, like once again, I'm going to refer to. You never know what could happen.
Right.
These songs, the original objective was really only to put something out there, just to inject our names back into the marketplace, just for when the Them Band comes out, people could really appreciate some of the music that we could create, because it would be so drastically different. Cold Steel is like a very, it's like a New York-induced, heavier, thrashier metal, whereas Them will be very European, neoclassical style. But it will still be metal and still be heavy. And, both groups, like my vocals, I will not sound the same. I will sound totally different. There may be traces of my voice because of maybe my accent, my New York accent.
Right.
But aside from that, it will be completely different. And that is the next thing. That's the next step after we push this product and see where this goes. But it originally wasn't planned. We weren't planning on just putting it out and pushing it, to no end. But
right.
It's slowly turning around. It's going to be on an 8-week radio campaign through Skateboard Marketing. They're going to be servicing the song starting, I think, the song America Idol, the title track, I think starting February 10th. I think it's the 10th. And, we have Clawhammer PR.
Yep.
Been working with us. And
Clawhammer's awesome.
A lot. Yeah, great guys. I have Jenna from RockSocially.com. She's actually working on our social media. And we're going to be putting out a little contest for all of anybody who likes our music, whether you want to call them fans or not, people who like our music. This is what we're going to do. Starting next week, we're going to have a contest, like a raffle. Whoever pre-orders our record, CD, because we're going to have it on vinyl. We're going to have a vinyl and picture disc.
Oh, very cool.
Whoever pre-orders any of those off of COLDSTEELNY.com, they're going to be entered into a raffle to win a test pressing of the vinyl record, which, as you know, and as any vinyl collector would know, they're very rare, they're very hard to come by, and it's like the pinnacle of vinyl collectors' collection to get a test pressing of the record.
Right.
And we will have it. The sleeve will be autographed. And we have there's only a few copies of it, so the band members are each getting one, and we're going to raffle one off. So anybody who will pre-order it, they're not only going to get that, they're also going to get a download code to download it right away. So they're going to have the whole EP immediately. And, it'll be a fun little contest, and someone will get it and be able to put it away for a few years. They want to sell it on eBay, they want to keep it, cherish it, whatever they want to do. It's something of value and something of sentimental value to us. So we hope everybody will enjoy that. And I know Jenna from Rock Social is going to be helping us push that in the next week, moving on till February 20th when the full product actually does get released. And for those people who actually don't collect physical product anymore, the digital product will be available off of iTunes, Amazon.com, any major online retail outlet that sells digital content. The whole EP will be released 12/01 on February 20th.
Okay, very good. And then as far as that contest goes, are you going to be announcing that and stuff on your Facebook page too?
Yes.
Okay.
We're on Facebook.com/ColdSteelNY. We'll announce that as well. And I believe with the weeks to come, we're also going to be every week, we're going to do a little trivia where the answers could be found online. People can do wonders with Google nowadays.
Right.
So the answers could be found, and each week on top of that, we'll throw out a little, autographed posters and artwork, fully autographed by the full band, and we're going to release one a week. Maybe we're probably going to be doing that Fridays. And whoever will be the first to post that on our page saying with the correct answer, they'll get that. They'll get that piece of art. And so we'll be doing that as well. Oh, and another thing. Besides, with this test pressing, of this vinyl test pressing raffle, I forgot to mention, there's a bonus. It's not going to be just one winner. The second place winner will receive a test pressing of our picture disc, because we're going to have a picture disc. Now, a test pressing is just a blank record, of course, and it has the catalog number inscribed on it. But the test pressing of a picture disc happens to be white because they print on it, and they have some markings on it. But that is even more scarce. But we're going to be also, that's going to be included. One of those will be included. Even the band members are not going to have that. So one will be included in that part of that raffle. So one person will win the vinyl, the regular black vinyl, and one person will win the test pressing of the picture disc, which is also vinyl as well, but it's all white. So just wanted to add that as well.
Oh, that's very cool. You got a lot of cool stuff going on for the fans. So appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, good. I hope they do.
Yep. Okay, so I have another question about the EP.
Sure.
So the artwork on the album cover, because I have it sitting here in front of me. I haven't even opened it yet. That's how new it is to me, as far as the actual physical copy. But who designed the artwork for you?
Well, the artwork was a collaborated effort. It was the ideas were really put together by myself, a close friend of the band's. His name is Christopher Crawford. Some of the band members as well, Hal and Eddie, mainly. And we put all of our ideas together, and I sent those ideas to Jan Jurland. His name is Jan, from darkgrove.net. And Jan is a phenomenal artist. And I first started working with Jan from even before that, because he started working on artwork for the Sweet Hollow record, and that's going to be the name of the record for them, Sweet Hollow. That's going to be coming out in 2014, probably around Halloween. And so anyway, Jan was working on artwork for the band Them, which the three of us are in, and he put all that on the side, and he started doing the Cold Steel America Idol EP artwork.
Yeah, well, he did a great job.
Everything is very symbolic. I don't know if some of the things you pick up right away, or if you want to point some things out. Like when you look at the CD, if you open it up and you have the CD, and it's a little difficult to tell because the hole in the center of the CD cuts out the eagle's head. That you have the picture of the presidential seal that is in distress, okay? And it's Cold Steel America Idol. It's distressed country. When you pull out the CD and you look at the artwork behind the CD, you see the U.S. American seal the way it's intended to be seen. Pristine, crisp, and complete. So, there's one symbol there. And the tagline of the record is "We the People Rise." Okay? And the whole concept is not really trying to get people to revolt, per se, against the government, but really to, a lot of people go about their lives, and they really, they might look at a news program and say, oh, that's horrible, this is horrible, and they continue going about their lives. But what's happening is our country's inhabitants are losing their rights incrementally, and, it's our rights as citizens. We're bound by the Constitution to uphold that, uphold our ability to make sure that this doesn't happen, whether it's actively or passively. But you know what? In the end, if it's not happening passively, it has to be done actively. So We the People Rise is really just to get everybody to band together, and you know what? These things are not happening the way these things are happening. We need to stop it. That's really what it is.
Yeah, well,
the artwork took a while to put that together, and Jan did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I love that theme, and I love the whole. I couldn't agree more with you with everything you just said. So, and I just opened the CD while you were talking, and so I could check out everything you're talking about, and it's very cool.
If you look at the lyrics, even the lyrics, if you look at the second page on there's you have a picture of the band member, and then you have the lyrics on the opposite page. The song America Idol, and not only the song, but if you look through the booklet, anywhere there's a former presidential quote by some of the most influential presidents our history has ever encountered are in there. One, which is in the song America Idol, which is the whole speech. That speech, like I was saying previously, that's from Abraham Lincoln. It was an excerpt from one of his famous speeches called the Lyceum Address. And in it, he states to the people that he knows that, the people love their government, they want their government. We're supposed to have the best government in the world.
Right.
But if the government acts unjustly, they act like they're a mob, the people must swear by the revolution, stand up, and stop it. And that's what that excerpt in there states. And if you look, I think there's there's 3 other places. There's quotes, two more places. There's 2 other quotes by Thomas Jefferson in the middle, the center of the booklet, and actually near the credits. And basically, he says the same thing. We need to stand up for our rights. And that's the theme of the whole record, mixed in with some history, with emotion, and it completely is relevant to what's happening for the past 10 years within our country.
Exactly. Okay, so obviously you've been doing this for a long time. What kind of influences have you had in your life that kind of made you want to start doing this and obviously continue to do it?
Well, I'll tell you. Growing up, I listened to all different types of music. I played the trumpet for like 13 years in all different types of bands in school, outside of school, and then I got involved with singing metal. And at first, I really liked groups like Motley Crue and Kiss and stuff like that. I was really intrigued by those groups, but I was never satisfied. I always wanted to hear something heavier. I always loved heavy music, and being part of a large family, I used to go to family gatherings, and it was my older cousins. I was like a middle child within all the cousins, and three of my older cousins, they used to go into one room and listen to Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Motorhead, Venom, and I was always intrigued by that, and I would sneak in their room while they were hanging out, and I was younger, they didn't want me there, but I would catch glimpses of what they were doing, and sure enough, I got into Maiden, Priest, Metallica, in the very beginning, Megadeth, all that stuff, and I really loved listening to the music. I used to paint jackets back in the day.
Awesome.
That was a big thing. I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, people used to have, their favorite heavy metal record covers or artwork painted on denim vests. And I used to do that. And while sitting there for hours painting freehand, I would come up, I would listen to all my favorite artists, which is some of the ones I just told you. On top of that, I loved King Diamond. And I would listen to King Diamond, and King Diamond, you had all your bigger groups that you could pretty much bundle together, like Metallica, Megadeth, Maiden, all those types of groups, British and American, and then all of a sudden you had out in left field King Diamond. And King Diamond just really opened up my mind for creativity. And I would listen to his records over and over and over, front to back, not even stopping, just keep, just flipping the phonograph, because I had, I was a big vinyl collector, and I pretty much still have the vinyl, all of it, and, so I love what I play, let's just put it that way. I love heavy music, I love listening, me personally, I like to hear some melody in my vocals. I'm not like a huge fan of nu metal, but I appreciate it. It's an art form. Metal comes in so many different flavors, and that's what I think is so great. And that's also why metal has survived, because it comes in so many different flavors. Everybody can have their preference, but everybody should acknowledge and appreciate the fact that metal does survive because of that.
Yeah, and I can totally appreciate that, because I get sent a lot of music, and a lot of it I don't like, but like I always tell people, that doesn't mean it's not good. It just means I personally don't like it. So
there's a market for everything.
Yep, exactly.
There's a group of people that will love anything.
Yep.
And what you might, let's say, like for example, there's some reviewers that have listened to this CD, and they just did not like the band from 20 years ago. And so they'll give us like backhanded reviews, backhanded compliments, saying, well, they shouldn't have come back, and they shouldn't have done this, and they shouldn't have done that. I listened to the record. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'll recommend it. Yeah, I listened to it a number of times. It's really good.
Right.
So like that sort of thing. Like, why even bother? But they're entitled to that right. They're entitled to the way they feel, because maybe we just don't do it for them. Maybe we just don't conform to their idea of what thrash metal should be, or you know what I'm saying? So
yep.
I think everybody has a right to feel how they feel. They could voice it. Just acknowledge that it exists, and acknowledge that there's various forms, and that's what makes metal thrive.
Yep, definitely. And it seems like the metal community is pretty much, for the most part, one big family. I mean, everybody, for the most part, tends to really work together, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I do too.
So, how did you come up with the name COLDSTEEL for the band? Where did that come from?
Well, even though I'm the original singer, technically I'm not. I'm the original singer on all the recordings. But before I joined the band back in '87, COLDSTEEL actually was fronted by another singer. And it was that version of COLDSTEEL that had played just covers. They used to play covers from Overkill, Maiden, Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, all that stuff. Before I even, before I was part of that group, I knew about them. I knew about COLDSTEEL. But what happened was, when I joined the group, I started talking to the drummer, who was one of the founding members of COLDSTEEL. He just liked the name. And back at that time, they just thought it was a cool name. There was no symbolism in the name itself, so to speak. But they thought it was a great name. Back then, back in '87, it had some kind of metal meaning in it, and but nothing more deeper than that. And it was COLDSTEEL, and everybody knew about COLDSTEEL on Long Island, and it was a great time. It was a great time.
All right, well, that works, definitely. So, one thing I forgot to ask, I think I forgot to ask, what recording studio did you use when you did the EP?
Oh, well, that whole process was very special. Okay, actually, we recorded, we tracked, mixed, and mastered in three separate studios. All the tracking was conducted in a studio called Primetime Studios, located in Mount Vernon, New York. That's like going upstate New York, by the engineer Tarek Salangi. And Tarek honestly has gotten some of the best drum sounds that many people in the industry have encountered. So we're very excited to have worked with Tarek. We're planning on working with him again for the Them record. And, he did a great job. We were looking for a very modern, like a modern feel to the record, modern ambiance to the record, even though, we're not really detuned very low on the music. And besides that, I don't really growl or scream. But the thing is, we were looking for a modern sound. And so I actually became very friendly with Monty Connor, who used to work for Roadrunner. Now he's working for Nuclear Blast Entertainment. And I asked Monty, I said, "Hey Monty, who would you recommend to give us a more modern sound?" And he actually mentioned Mark Lewis or Dave Otero. Now I didn't contact Mark Lewis because Monty told me. He said, "Look, Mark Lewis, he's going to cost some money, but he's going to cost money. But more than that, he's going to take like 6 months to work with him, and we didn't have the time for that.
Right. So
I contacted Dave, and Dave hit it off. We hit it off. Dave Otero from FlatlineAudio.com. Dave did a fantastic job. He did exactly what Monty said he was going to do, because Monty had him do some work for him in the past. And, he did a great job. But you know what? I really wanted to have more of an experience with this whole thing, with this whole project. So we brought the CD, the unmastered product, to Ted Jensen at Sterling Sound in New York City. And Ted, he is one of the world's most renowned mastering engineers for all different genres of metal, rock, you name it, he's done it. I mean, he's done all of Billy Joel's hits, for crying out loud. You know, he's the man. So we brought it there, and we had Ted master it, and he did a great job mastering as well. And you know, the product just evolved. It evolved, you know, while we were preparing to record. It evolved while we were recording it. It evolved while we were mixing and mastering. I mean, just the whole entire project has evolved from the beginning to the end, and it means a lot to us.
Yeah, and I tell you, because you know, and don't want to forget to thank Clawhammer for sending me your tracks to check out. And from the moment I listened, I've been a fan ever since. So everything, wow, the whole project has definitely worked very well, as far as I'm concerned, because you know I'm a fan now. So.
Well, great, thanks. We're just glad that you enjoy the music. That's all. I mean, that's the most important thing. Is if you know we listen to this music and we like it. That's probably the most important thing. But what's really nice is when people enjoy it as well. And what's very interesting, I have to tell you one thing that Dave had told me while he was mixing the record. And now Dave works with a lot of modern-sounding metal acts. If you go on the site, he has a bunch of, you know, flatlineaudio.com. He has a bunch of you know, clips of groups he's done. And Dave also does mastering, and he does a great job mastering. But he doesn't master for vinyl, which is what we had planned. So we had to go with a studio that was going to master for vinyl. So otherwise, we probably would have just had Dave do. You know, if we were just going to do, you know, digital content and CD, we didn't have to go anywhere else. Dave was the guy to do that. But Dave was telling me while he was mixing this, he said it was funny. He says, you know what? I get really choked up when I listen to the speech in America Idol. And I'm like, why? And he says, because it has a tremendous impact, because, you know, it makes you think. It makes you think about, you know, what's going on, and it's going on today. And you know, I think we all kind of get a little choked up too from time to time when we listen to it. And at this point, I mean, we've listened to this thousands of times. But
right.
The point is, for someone who, you know, might listen to it once, it sounds okay, it's okay. But if you sit down, you read the lyrics, you might engross yourself in the symbolism and what we feel as artists relaying to the listener. And that's the feeling of frustration and having tyranny rise.
Yeah, well, we can all relate to that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I need to add one other thing. I'm not a political person. Okay. I was just telling a story, and you know, I inject feeling, emotion. I inject sometimes fact, sometimes fiction, and that's. You know, it's all molded together, and here you go, here's the song. But this actually has made me become more aware. Just simply writing the song has made me become more aware. And I'm getting even more pissed off with what's going on with our country today. So, but I'm still not a total political, you know, I'm not a political buff.
Well, okay, that's good.
I just need to say that.
Just so you know, too, I do have some tracks in the 24/7 stream at the station, and I've been playing you like every show, and the listeners, the people in the chat have all commented that you guys are really good. So just a little feedback for you there too.
Wow, that's great. That's great. We're very happy that they enjoy the music.
Yes.
We really enjoyed creating it, and we hope that we can create more, both as Cold Steel and as them. And nobody has really heard of them, and hopefully that will knock some socks too off. We're hoping, but many people won't like that. But that's our next recording project, and then if things go well with this project, with America Idol, we'll come back to it, and we'll come back to Cold Steel, and it'll be easy because 3/5 of the band are the same.
Right.
So we'll come back and we'll record a full-length Cold Steel record if there's a need or want for it, then we will.
Very good. And I just want to thank you for taking time to talk to me. I've truly enjoyed this conversation today. This has been a killer interview. I have, really enjoyed talking.
Well, thanks. I mean, thank you for having me, and thank you for broadcasting the interview. I really appreciate it, and we're fans ourselves. We're not just these musicians that want to create something and leave me alone. We're fans. We love the music. I mean, we got a big show coming up over here with Testament and Overkill and Flotsam. I'm in ecstasy because
right.
I love all three bands. And there's also Forearm's opening up the show as well. I'm not really too familiar with that group. Heard of them, but not too familiar. But I can't wait to see Flotsam. I haven't seen Flotsam in a long time, Overkill in a long time, and Testament I've seen, just about every time they come here to Long Island. But we have that show coming up, and we're all very excited. So we're fans too, and we enjoy the music too, and that's really, that's the most important thing. You need to enjoy what you do, and people need to know that.
Yep, couldn't agree more. So let's one last shot here. Throw out your Facebook and any other social networking sites that you guys use for the people to check you out.
Well, we have Twitter is twitter.com/ColdSteelNY. We have Facebook.com/ColdSteelNY. Reverb Nation /ColdSteelNY. We also have our main webpage, ColdSteelNY.com. And we're on Bandcamp, but Bandcamp right now is private, so I can't really mention that yet. I think that's about it. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, very good. Anything else you want to tell the world, everybody to listen to this interview? Anything that I haven't asked you about that you want to make sure people know?
Well, let's see. We are planning to do a video for America Idol, and I could tell you really quick. We're right now talking with Patrick Kendall, who's the director of Megadeth's Head Crusher video, which was a pretty good video. So we're talking with him. If things don't work out, we'll use someone else, but right now we're talking with him to film a video probably within the next month for America Idol. And I could just tell you right now, we're trying to do it where it will be in a courtroom. Part of it will be in a courtroom, part of it will be narrative, and we're really looking forward to that. And let's see, what else? We'll be playing, like I said, we'll be playing shows as they come along. We'll probably be playing more in 2014 than now because everybody's booking up big shows. We're looking to play bigger shows, but if something arises that is, like maybe a smaller club show anywhere in the U.S., we'll play. But we haven't really thought about that because originally this was just going to be a recording project. So we're just starting to look into that now, and I'm sure we'll be playing some select shows scattered about. So keep an eye out for Cold Steel. Keep an eye out for them in 2014, and them's release will be Sweet Hollow. And there's right now we're going to have a very special band member on the record too, which I can't say who it is yet, but it'll be an eye-turner. And you can definitely go on YouTube and search Cold Steel America Idol, and that's America, not American, America Idol, IDLE, and see all the different videos. We have a bunch of videos from the studio when we were recording. Had a lot of fun. And you could also look up King Diamond Tribute Them, THEM, and you could see my alternate personality dressing up as King Diamond and singing like King. And you have a lot of stuff to look at, a lot of fun.
Okay, well, very cool. I know I will check that out, and I will encourage everyone else to as well. And definitely make sure when things when the album with the other band gets out there, make sure you let me know, and we can do another interview, and we can push that as well.
Oh, definitely. I will definitely let you know. I'm sure we're going to be working with Clawhammer for a while, and they're privy to that as well. So they're really looking forward to working with them as well as Cold Steel. And we've even this is far-fetched, but you never know. There may be a point in time where Cold Steel and them will play a show together. It is possible. I'm not going to rule that out.
Hey, why not, right?
We could do that, but we're not talking about that yet because they're two separate entities.
Right.
But, that's in the back of my mind. I always think way ahead. So I would love to see something like that happen, probably like on a festival-like setting, because you need time in between, because even though them will be original, just want to let you know, because you don't really know about the group, but I'm telling you right now, it's very interesting. We had actually, we played these 3.5 years of shows. We played with two members of King Diamond, Mike Weed and Hal Patino, and we had a great time doing it, and we decided to just go and put together an original album, conceptual album, in a similar vein to King, but do stuff that maybe King doesn't do. And, but it'll be very European, neoclassical-like, flavored, and we're going to do our own self into it. A complete, total original record, a conceptual record consisting of 9 original songs, very horror-orientated, very graphic. All I can say is everybody dies in the story, and evil prevails, and I just want to tell you that. And also, besides that, any type of, when we play live, because the band came from a tribute band, but now is original, what we're planning on doing, always tributing King, because King, there is only one King Diamond, and forever, even when the time comes that he leaves this earth, only one King Diamond. We're not trying to replace him, but we're influenced greatly by him, and we came together because of him. So we're putting this original group, whereas live we'll be playing some of his songs as well, to always tribute him, and celebrate his music. And we're the reason why. Like, he's the reason why we got together as a group, and we just want to continue to recognize that. So that's going to be in store for 2014. We're shooting for a goal for Halloween, where the full record will be released. There'll be a single that we released the month before, and we're planning on playing anywhere and everywhere that anybody would have us. And we're very excited about that. We're very excited about Cold Steel, and we hope everybody else will be too.
Very cool, and that's all awesome. I'm a huge King Diamond fan, so I cannot wait to hear what you guys are going to put out for that. So that's awesome.
Well, I could end this interview with a little grandma for you if you'd like, and for all your listeners, they'll get a kick out of it.
Go for it.
All right.
Very nice. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
No problem.
That's very cool. Okay, I have one last thing to ask you, then I got to let you go because I have another interview in 7 minutes.
Sure do.
If you wouldn't mind doing like a couple of radio tags real quick for me.
Sure, of course.
So the first one, you can just say, this is Troy from Cold Steel, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
This is Troy from Cold Steel, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Perfect. Then the second one, the exact same thing, but just throw in there that you're listening to DJ REM at Rock Addict Radio.
This is Troy from Cold Steel, and you're listening to DJ REM from rockaddictradio.com. Yeah!
Perfect, man. That is so awesome. I can't wait to play that on my show. That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much again. And like I said earlier, I've really, really enjoyed talking to you. I've really appreciated this interview. And all interviews are awesome, but this one's at the top of my list now. So
wow, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time, and maybe our paths will cross in the future.
I hope so.
Look forward to it.
I hope so. Well, you take care, okay?
You too. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We'll meet again in the future.
Yep. Sounds good. Thanks, Troy.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.